Alright guys, LE Buzzsaw. Here we go. Warriors are up. This map's a little finished. It's okay. So this is Elemental Buzzsaw. If you saw my video from before with the dunes, this is the same shaped dunes. This is just a slower video. It's not at 15 times speed. And I'll be going over the build here. This is just how the, just showcasing it basically first, so you guys can see what this is about, see if you're interested in Spec throw. So yeah, this is... You can see the trash clears pretty good. I'm kind of shit at playing this build for the most part, like I'm not the best. There's some cool tech you can do with dragging the blades through different packs. I'm still getting used to that. But overall, I feel like the skill has a very high cap. You can do a lot of the bosses with it. But this is just to kind of show how it feels as the build's growing. Like this is level 85. We have a decent claw. We've got a 6-link. But I'll talk about all that in a second. But this is just dunes. I'm gonna switch for the boss up here. And we've got this. Yep. And see, we killed the boss without it even getting to second phase, which is pretty decent. We shouldn't swap gems in the middle of packs. It's very bad. I've died a few times because of that. Yeah, so there's the build. That's how it works. You just throw and go. Okay, so some things that you might not have saw during that map. I've got an Orb of Storms here for power charge on crit. I use that on beefier bosses. T10s, you don't really need that. But you pop this in the middle of a pack or on the boss, you get power charges pretty consistently. So let's go over the core of the build. So we've got Pathfinder here. Pathfinder skill tree is pretty basic. We get the flask here, we get the flask here, we get Heart of Oak for some stun recovery, and we also use a Pantheon for stun recovery. I'll go over that in a bit too. You come down here for some life. Jewel sockets, really important. You can get so much damage off of these, it's insane. You get like 2 to 3 damage props and some life. They're a little expensive, but like you just don't spec these points until you have a jewel socket to put there, right? Like it's not too bad. You also get point blank for late game bosses like Shaper. While I'm farming, I just haven't spec'd it. Like I feel like it's not worth it yet for me. Elemental damage, important. Herbalism, jewel sockets, always important. Crit, acrobatics, not worth to me. Like, so many points I could get another jewel socket. Get some more life, get some more damage, you know. Jewel socket, pen. I think you get pen down here too, which is just really good. Yeah, 10%? No, yeah, 5%. 5% pen. So pen. And then this claw. This is the best node in the game, right here. Just solid. Like, I'll let you look at that for a second. It's your leech engine, it's your mana leech engine, it is all of your crit. Like, it's a lot of crit, it's not all of your crit, but it's like 60% chance, 45% multi, it's super good. Life, another jewel socket. Yeah, and you just get ball packed. I'll have a link to the tree below, so you don't have to like sit here and look at this forever. But yeah, this is like level 85. I'd probably fill out this for life for some of my other points. Life here. Might stretch for another jewel socket. Definitely point blank though. Gotta get that eventually. So, that's the tree. Nothing special, just claw stuff, leech, general Pathfinder stuff. It's good. Good stuff. For this, I took this while I was leveling up. Just to level a little bit faster. And then I went over here, and then I got Veteran Warrior after. I got, so, priorities, natures, master, and then veteran. But you can alternatively skip this until Uber and get this and then this. Like, It's up to you. It depends on if you want clear speed, an attack speed, a movement speed, or if you just want to hit harder or have Vinctors quicker. So that's the tree. My claw. So what you're looking for ideally with the claw is a very high flat lightning percent, or not percent, lightning, just roll, flat lightning. This is a T1 lightning roll, 11 to 162. You want attack speed, you want crit multi, and crit chance. Your priorities are high lightning damage probably first, like you need to be T1 probably. T2 can be a good starter though. Then you want to prioritize crit chance probably, like crit chance is huge. Mine's a little low, it's crafted. I got extremely lucky with this claw. I picked it up for 10C. Other ones that were comparable at the time were 400C to 300C. But that being said, like the build starts functioning really well at like 50, like 40 to 50 with like a decently rolled Ellie claw, like a little bit of lightning, like a lot of lightning damage, a little bit of cold maybe, and then just attack speed. Doesn't even have to have crit, and you can start using Spec throw. So the claw is important. If you can get it, Spec throw enchant on Starkonjas. If you can't get the enchant, don't worry too much about it. The build still functions without it. There are also alternative options to this. You can get a what's it called? Devoto's Devotion. 27C I paid, and I sold it for the same amount. Like it was, I just you know, rented it for a bit basically. It actually increases your map clear speed significantly because you get 20% move speed, and a 16% attack speed. So you get more attack speed, more move speed, makes your shield charge go ungodly fast. I kind of wish I had kept my Devotos anyway, just to do dunes and other, like, you know, lower tier maps basically, just clear. This almost mandatory. Just, you know, you don't have to worry about specking accuracy at all. Super good. Get one of these. Biscos. Awesome for map farming. If you're going to go to do big bosses like Shaper, just take it off for something with life and wed and flat lightning damage would be good. That's pretty much it on the amulet, like, because your stats will be the same for reses, right? Because, like, you're not using reses right now, and you don't need extra reses on Shaper, so, like, this is a perfect item just to farm maps with. And you just swap it out for life and extra damage. That's all you need. Best 6-link, probably Belly. It's a little bit of a pain to get the colors. I got super lucky with, like, at least one blue roll. I did 2 of those and I got super duper lucky. Breach calculator says something like 127 attempts, I think. So it's like, it's not super expensive. You can get unlucky, but that happens with Chroms all the time. And the amount of life that you get from this is pretty crazy. So Belly of the Beast, 6-link if you can get it. Build functions with a 5-link. I would probably drop increased critical strikes as a, if I were going down to a 5-link, or maybe elemental focus, one of those two. Probably one of those two. You GMP swap for slower projectiles on bosses. You saw that in the video, like earlier. Okay, so rings, opals. Hands down opals. Like, these ones aren't great. 36 life, 72 life. This one's pretty good. But it has lower flat lightning attacks, right? So, like, you just kind of balance what you want out of the rings. Like, if you want more damage and you're willing to sacrifice HP, this ring's a perfect example. Bam. Like, you know, you get more lightning damage, but you take less HP. And then if you want more HP, you take less lightning damage because you can just craft this on, right? Like, it's not that bad. So just look for rings with an open prefix so you can craft that lightning, or just look for one with lightning and craft that HP, like whatever works for you. Or you can just find these like I did for 40 to 50C a pop. You might not be able to find, like, it depends on the market, right? Like, you might not be able to find them for that. Belt's nothing spectacular. This 16 fire res, ironically, is actually giving me Wise Oak status right here, because I was tired of not having Wise Oak up unless Vinctor's was up, so it took me a while to get my gloves like this, 29 cold res. That fire res has to be perfect, it could be lower, but like, it was so hard to get these gloves. But yeah, the belt is just life, as much life as you can get, without sacrificing too much, and then you just want reses, and then wood. You can craft the wood. I think the craft goes up to 22%, but you can find rolls that are way better, like up to like 45% or something. Like, that's ridiculous. This belt was 4C. Like, it's not that bad. Like, you can find budget options for any of these slots. Like this, you can use just Starkonjas without any enchant. It's fine. Devotos, like, I already went over that though. This shield's like, you know, 6C, 7C. It's not that bad. Boots. You can craft wet onto boots. It's super good. It's 1 divine orb though. It gets really expensive because it's a 4 to 12%. Don't be too discouraged. Set aside about 21 chaos, 24 chaos, just enough for like whatever divine orbs you're going for like 3 rolls, because most likely you'll get a 10%er out of 3 rolls. And 10% is not the highest, 12% is, but 10% is good enough. And it is a prefix if you go to look on PoE trade. What is a prefix? But yeah, just look for move speed because you want to move fast while you're shield charging. That helps your clear speed. Then you just want reses and life. That's it. That's all you want with boots. You can go for a boot enchant instead of reses. Honestly, I probably would have had an easier time with Wise Oak if I had done that and just gone after like a lab enchant, like 10% lightning pen or something if I haven't killed recently for bosses. Those are just options. You can pretty much do whatever you want with your boots, as long as you have move speed. Like, I value the clear speed, so those are my boots. Gloves, gripped are good. You don't have to have gripped, but the 18% increased projectile attack damage is pretty much a decent note on your tree, so it's like getting a free skill point. It's nice. You want, no matter what gloves you have, you want flat lightning damage to attacks. These ones are a little low. You want life, and you want reses. Attack speed, if you can get it, but that makes them like Exalt status. Like, it gets really expensive when you start looking for so many specific things. But yeah, those are good example of gloves. So flasks, I'm using an Aziris, a silver flask of adrenaline, a Vessels of Vinctor lightning pen. 2 attacks isn't bad, but I prefer the pen over. I value the pen over attacks, like flat damage. Plus, I think the flat damage still might be like crazy expensive. Wise Oak, mine sucks. You can get a better one. I can get a better one. I should get a better one. But Wise Oak, good pen. Also, it lets you do LE weakness maps without worrying. Like, that's pretty nice. I found that to be super valuable, so I didn't have to reroll maps. Because as a Pathfinder, this thing's always up. So. And then you've just got a diamond flask that removes bleeding. So bleeding and adrenaline on your 2 rolls. I prefer to have this on my silver flask, the movement speed, so I can just press 2 and move around fast. But, you know, you don't have to. You can put it wherever you want. This guy's gonna message me 5 times. I'm just gonna go D&D right now. Sorry about that. So anyway, yeah, so those are the flasks. I was thinking about replacing Aziris for something that does do a warding flask, like a sulfur or something. Like, just maybe not an overflowing chalice, but just a normal sulfur with warding, so I wouldn't have to deal with temp chains. You know what I mean? That way I could just face roll all of the maps. That's like the only thing I'd really change, I think, about this build. As far as my link setups, Orb of Storms, increased crit strikes, and power charge on crit. I don't use this often, it doesn't need it, but like, I had free links, and like, what else am I supposed to do? Like, it just seemed like a no-brainer to have power charges on bosses, so I put that in. Shield charge, fortify, faster attacks, and culling strike. This is nice for big bosses like Shaper, or T15 bosses like Kelm, where you just can cull that 10% off. And it saves you a lot of money on trying to get culling strike on your weapon. Also, it increases the attack speed of your shield charge, so that's nice. Up here we have our cast when damage taken. Just kidding. This is our, I saw increased duration, so I just assumed. This is our Ball Haste setup, Ball Lightning Trap, Ancestral Protector, and increased duration. Pretty simple. Like, you use Ancestral Protector on the bosses like this, and you attack faster, and it's nice. It also can act like a mini decoy totem for roughly 0.0000001 seconds, because it dies instantly. But it can give you that like split second to like get away for a second. Alright, so in here we have Wrath, Herald of Thunder. Those are our 2 auras. The percent here gives us percent lightning damage, which is nice for everything. We've got Flame Dash. I personally hate playing a build that can't get up over cliffs. Like if I'm up over here and I can't get up there, it makes me slightly upset, even though shield charging would probably be faster than casting Flame Dash. Another option would be Charged Dash. I haven't actually done that yet, but I'm going to do some experimenting with that just to see if it's more comfortable. So Flame Dash, Charge Dash, whatever you want, like mobility skill for cliffs. If you don't value that, don't worry about it. Put something else in there like an Enlighten for your auras. This is our cast 1 damage taken setup. So we've got a level 1, cast 1 damage taken, Immortal Call, Summon Lightning Golem, our little buddy over here for attack speed. You can use the Crit Golem if you want the percent increased crit. I value the attack speed more because I feel like I lose a lot when I'm not even using the accuracy from Ice Golem. Like, it makes me feel like shit, so I don't do it. And then Conductivity just for a little extra pen on, you know, the tanky golems that are annoying. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. I don't think I missed anything. Map mods to watch out for are Cannot Leech and Elemental Reflect mostly. Temp Chains gets annoying, you can run it though. And that's just about it. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I hope that you enjoy playing Spec through if you like it. And like I said, the tree will be down below. And thanks for tuning in. This is Waifu Gate, out.